Dave and Jay versus the world.
Nice.
Oh, my fault. I thought.
Fuck.
Welcome to another episode of Dave and Jay versus
Dave
the world.
and Jay versus
Don't
the
interrupt
world.
me. Don't
I was doing the background.
don't be my echo. All right. You
That
fucked
was
up
good.
the whole thing, Jay.
I thought it was kind of going pretty good.
I thought
actually.
it was pretty good. I'll take it back.
You
It
know
was
what I
nice.
think I'm gonna stop doing
What's that?
after 10. I think we're just gonna go. Welcome back to Dave and Jay versus the world.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for a while.
Just a little relaxed. Come in relaxed.
Yeah,
You know.
just chill.
That's a good way. You know, you up the tempo slowly. You start slow and smooth and buttery, and then more and more abrasive, and more bass, and more angst and energy. So yeah, we could do that. We could
Yeah.
start slow.
Yeah. No.
agree with that.
I just think we're beyond. You know, we got to the double digits. I feel that we're beyond
I
having
agree.
to let everybody know what podcast number we're
Hey,
on.
Jay, they know who we are. I mean, come on. You guys know who we are.
Guys, our name's starting to ring bells out there in the
It is. It's getting a little crazy.
podcast community.
When I drive around to work, people wave to me. You know what I mean?
They're actually telling him his taillights out.
Yeah, people.
Like, hey, asshole. Hey, I know. Dave from Dave and Jay versus the
I'm
world.
kind of mad you said that because it's 100% true. The amount of, and I do a weird thing too, where people pull up next to me and they go, "Hey, your tail lights out," and then I pretend to be surprised, and then I thank them for the information. I
Like-
go like, "Which my tail light? Which tail light out?" And they go the driver's side, and I go,
Buddy,
"Oh,
buddy, this is news to me.
Are you-
I maintain my vehicles.
are you kidding? Thank you so much.
I
Thank you."
care.
And then they drive away, and then every single time I go, "Why the fuck did I do that? Why didn't I just?"
Because you can't help but be a piece of shit.
I guess so.
It's just in your thing to lie automatically. So when some guy is trying to help you, you're like, oh boy, here we go. Time to lie
Here
again.
we go again. Why is that why? I guess it's because of the lie. That's why it's a
You're
piece of shit move.
fucking liar. It's ingrained in your DNA, starting at your
No.
great grandpappy.
No. They're very honest people.
Through your great grandmother who used to bang Thomas
No.
Edison, all the way through.
Yeah, who did your great grandma bang? Nobody of mention.
I know.
That's who. You come from weak cloth.
That's
You
true.
might be the strongest person in your lineage. I'm the weakest person in my lineage.
Well, here's the thing. Edison would have dumped in my great grandmother. Okay, he didn't want to dump his seed into yours because he was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm
are
gonna
you
pull
saying-
out.
are
I'm
you
gonna pull out
are you
because
saying-
I don't want this guy to inherit my height and genius,
Thomas Edison pulled out of my great grandma.
and that's why you're short.
That might
and
be the most
unsuccessful.
disrespectful thing you've said so far. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 10.
I
and
forgot.
Jay landed the kill shot.
I forgot for a second that we're actually having a podcast.
That
and I
it's
was
actually running right
I was
now.
just going in on you.
Hey, you know what's wild is I do want to I want to thank people for tuning in, and I think we always fucking do this, right? We're always like, thank you so much, oh my god. But like seriously, thank you guys, because on the way here, don't fucking plug Rain energy
Sorry.
drink during my
It's
heartfelt
cool,
moment.
refreshing,
No,
and
it's-
takes care of that
No,
quenched
don't
thirst.
don't do that in the middle of my heartfelt. Don't slurp disrespectfully into the microphone, you piece of shit.
I'm just trying to.
Listen, man.
Just
all right?
trying to get some advertising.
I'm willing
dollars
to look
flowing through
past-
Dave and Jay.
Yeah, shout out to Rain Energy. If you guys want to toast your boys some cash, you know where to find us. But what I do want to say is, on the way here, very nervous, and
Yeah.
I'm nervous before every episode, which is why I'm thankful for everybody who watches this show, because like it's not fucking easy. Even though we come in here and we have this rapport and we have this relationship and we have a lot of fun, I have nerves every single time on the way here, where like I have to listen to like Bad Boys for Life on the way here because I gotta amp myself up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Bump, 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 bump.
What you gonna do?
Bump,
What you
bump.
gonna
Nope,
do?
that's the
if
other-
They come for you.
That's
no.
that's not the. No.
Yeah. You don't listen to that?
I don't listen to that
Oh, I
actually.
thought-
I could never watch Cops. I didn't like watching Cops.
Oh my God, I liked it. Up until I got arrested. You know what the thing is? We
That'll do
watched
it.
Cops growing up, and my dad rooted for the bad guys to get away.
I
And then
kind
he
of do
found
too.
Yahweh, and then he was like, "Get that son of a
Yeah,
bitch."
burn him in the fiery lake of. Well,
There
there's
you
no.
go.
hell
Maybe
in-
he'll find Christ, bro.
Maybe he'll find Christ. I don't know. Something about watching people at their lowest moments
Makes me feel good.
No, well,
Oh, okay.
when it-
you don't like that?
I guess I kind of do because I do watch 90 Day Fiance.
Intervention.
I don't watch Intervention. Remember that guy?
It's rough.
Remember the cry guy, the black dude?
Yeah. Yeah, he sounded like a Wookiee.
Yeah, he did sound like a Wookiee, but it was real.
His son was like, and the thing is, I still love you, dude. And they put auto to that.
How disrespectful is the internet? How fucking shameful and disrespectful is the internet?
It's so fucked up, dude. And it's undefeated.
It is
Nobody
undefeated.
has ever beaten the
But you take a man at his lowest moment where he realizes that no matter what, his son
drops some
still
auto-tune.
loves him. And it's... they fucking auto-tune
it. Was
it.
way more Wookiee than that.
It was, but I recognize that as, I call that a soul cry. When your soul pushes through your rough
Soul
exterior.
door.
Yep. When your soul pours forth from your soul door, and despite your abrasive and hard exterior, you let out a soul cry. And I have those sometimes. They happen. I'm a very emotional man. Sometimes I'll watch a heartfelt commercial that'll choke me up for no good reason, or a good Disney movie will do it.
Yo, not for nothing. I was listening to the Innocence Project podcast when Rogan was on.
It's rough.
And he was crying, and I got a little choked up in the car, and I'm not the biggest fan of his anymore, but like I
Still got a way of touching you.
I was like, got me right there.
Right in the soul door.
Jeez,
Right in the soul door.
Yeah, it really did. And I but the thing is, like, I've experienced like what it's like to be in the system, and I've seen
That's what does it to
most
you.
of the guys I've seen were guilty as shit though. But
right.
yeah,
But not you.
Now, I was guilty, but not guilty in the way the charges they like brought up on me
Sure.
were insane, because all I tried doing was shoplifting, and they got me in robbery in the second degree, 2 counts of weapons possession in the second degree,
Sure.
and then aggravated assault in the second degree.
Did you hit somebody?
Dude, no. The guy tackled me, and like when we hit the ground, like it was when we were like younger and we used to sag our pants. My dick was out. My dick was out of my pants. If this was today,
Right.
I would be all over the internet.
World Star Hip Hop.
You would just see my plaid boxers with my dick
flaccid penis
hanging,
flapping about.
Oh, just and my drunk face
Every
and
which
my
way.
dick hanging out. Dude, it was
So I mean, that sounds like you
Yeah.
deserve it, though. I mean, number one,
I'll tell you what, I dipped my toes into jail enough to know that I don't ever want to go back there.
Sure. But that's the kind of thing. It's like you have to when you're younger, emotional things really don't register to you. Sad movies really don't do it.
No, I mean, I cried at The Lion King when I was younger.
That's different, though. That's different. Everybody cried at The Lion King,
Okay,
and
so
if you
you're
didn't cry at The
saying-
Lion King, get the fuck out of my face.
So you're telling me you could be emotional only when watching Disney films,
sure.
and then other than that, that.
I think so. When you're a kid, yeah, that's pretty much the bar. Disney films are the bar. Right now, I tried to watch Lion King, and I pulled it off, but like, fuck, man, when his dad's talking to him as a giant spiritual cloud dad, and he's like, Simba.
anything the light touches.
Dude,
is
I
ours.
was like, oh my God, that's a lot. And I couldn't, and it was my
And
kid's
then-
like, Dad, this isn't shit. And I'm
yeah,
like, well,
and then you
get
got
off
like
my
a
lap.
son, so maybe you feel that.
Oh, I shoved him off my lap and he hit the ground because it got too real.
Well, honestly, it's not real at all for you, kind of. I mean, the fact that you thinking with your hubris that you're anything
What?
like
Simba, like Mufasa?
like Mufasa.
I'm very much like Mufasa.
Give
very
me
stoic.
one example how you are like Mufasa. You're like the fucking bird, the toucan that.
No, don't.
Hey, sir.
You're
sir.
like Scar.
I am.
Like on the surface,
I am kind of like.
he's a good guy, but deep down inside,
honestly.
he's rotten.
I'm a. What
Life
is his
has
name?
been-
Mustafa.
Mufasa.
Mufasa. I'm a Mufasa, dude.
Is it Mustafa or Mufasa?
No, it's Mufasa.
Mustafa was the name of the guy from Austin
One of the guys
Powers.
that hijacked the planes.
No, that's not.
I'm sorry.
Don't. we don't. You don't have to say which planes. We know which planes. It wasn't the ones that got lost.
Oh my God!
all those years ago.
I went down a fucking rabbit hole the other day watching Alex Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little throwback.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it
was
fun?
entertaining. It's
He's
like,
an entertaining fucking
I just
dude.
remember like thinking like what you were saying, how you were just telling me like, I mean, it was entertaining, and he was. He's a funny guy, actually. I mean,
Dude, he rants-
believes in some wild stuff.
Sure.
But he does come in with like numbers and shit.
Yeah. There
You
are
know?
things that he's rather convincing.
Yeah,
but
he's
you also
pretty-
have to ask yourself how
pretty
much of
smart.
that shit does he believe? I don't know. I
would
think it's
say
part of his brand.
25%. I think a lot of government shit. Look,
I think that's a little conservative. I think he might believe in more than that.
Do you think like a 50%? You think interdimensional vampires and then
I think
frog homosexuality? He's believing one or the other of those.
frogs
things?
do, in fact,
Somebody was watching Jurassic Park. Because
No.
if you tell me that some South American frogs were able to change their sex from male to female in an
I'm
all-male
so sorry. I didn't mean
environment.
to fucking burp into the
That's
microphone.
so
It's
gross.
disgusting.
That is
I
so Super
apologize.
Friends.
That's very super friends of me. I apologize, guys. No, I mean, it's a fact, though, right? There are amphibious creatures that can change sex dependent on whether or not there is a discrepancy in the amount of females to males or vice versa. And
I don't know enough about animals to start.
animal
flying-
facts?
I don't know enough
You're
about
animal facts?
Well, I know a good deal about animal facts, but not enough to start having a debate on
Okay,
the-
then let's talk about
the
Filipino people,
reproductive.
right? Filipino people.
Don't know a lot of them either.
I know a lot about Filipino people, and the thing is, a lot of their women, and shout out to my Where I Belong fans out there, because you know where I'm going with this. Is that the right eye? Yeah. So basically, what happened? There was a mass exodus of. Remember when Manny Pacquiao got in trouble for disliking the gays?
Yep.
Okay, so you have to cut Manny a little bit of slack because what happened is during the 90s and the early 2000s and still to this day, there was a mass exodus of women from the Philippines coming to America seeking out occupation in the medical field, which is why it's not a racist thing. There are a ton of Filipino women that are nurses and different occupations in the medical field. That mass exodus of women from the Philippines caused an imbalance, and
You're
Now-
you're toting a real thin line here, buddy.
there were heroes that decided to step up and correct that imbalance,
With their buttholes.
which is why
Oh boy.
there are quite a many ladyboys
Jesus.
in the
Christ.
Philippines and
knew.
Thailand.
How did we get to ladyboys from fucking Lion King?
Because
How
frogs,
did we-
because frogs are
Oh.
also the unsung heroes of
That's how we did it.
gender discrepancy, where frogs they fill that hole.
Literally.
And so yeah, that's it's you know, nature emulating nature, it's fractal.
Well,
Filipino people are like frogs.
that was a real hard opening.
Oh
And
yeah, we're
there
still
you
doing
go,
that. That was
guys.
and welcome to DJVW.
Episode 10.
How was your week, buddy?
It was pretty good. I got next week I'm going to Georgia for my niece's wedding.
I'm gonna miss you.
That's yep.
a
Gonna be
fucking
handling.
nail
gonna be-
to the shin.
You're gonna be steering the ship solo, buddy.
That's right.
You got the keys to the
It's
kingdom.
about to get a lot better, boys.
Oh my God! I can almost guarantee that it's gonna be our worst rated ever.
That nothing is gonna happen for
I
2 weeks.
guarantee 30 views on that.
That's not. It's going to be very high.
Are
I'm
you-
asking you people to come out and support me in droves when I have to do an inevitable
Guys,
solo episode.
if you want
that's
to
coming down the
boycott
pipe.
that episode, we're
Don't
completely
boycott the
okay.
episode, okay? Just because I said Filipino people are like amphibians.
Definitely not gonna have Filipino people listen now.
Listen.
So
besides,
it
when
was
are
good.
you? Where are you going in Georgia? What's
I don't
down
know.
in Georgia?
Georgia. It's my
Georgia.
most of my family's actually down in Georgia. I actually lived down there a couple times. Like when I was running from the lawn shit, I went down there, fleed from a warrant that I had up here, which was a no bail warrant. It's a violation of probation. So what happened was I went to the probation office.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I knew something was weird. I knew something was going on.
By the looks they were giving you?
Yeah. And the one guy, Peter, I'll never forget him. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I knew that they pulled a warrant for child support or something like that.
Okay.
I knew something popped up on me. And what happened was
You went there to check on the.
I went there to go check in.
Okay.
So what happened is the guy Peter is like, "Hey, what's going on?" I already at that point failed like 30 UAs. Urine
What's an
analysis.
Oh, okay.
So I failed like 30 of them already at this
Yeah.
point. And then like he had enough, and I knew that he had enough.
And they just
also,
kept
I
giving
think
you chances? Like
Oh,
every
yeah,
time you
yeah.
failed it, they were
My-
like, hey, next time,
my
buddy.
one PO, she didn't give a shit.
Mm.
So when he got my case though, he was like, "Boy, there's a lot of dirty UAs." So he goes, "Hey, I just gotta go check on something real fast. I'll be right back." And I was like, "Sure, Peter.
Of
I'll
course.
see you soon, buddy." So as soon as he left, I got up and I left too. I went
Wait,
down the
wait.
hallway.
Are
and
you telling me that you left and then you left all the way to Georgia?
I left all the way to Georgia.
Man.
So what happened was,
Man, when you dig in, you dig in.
dude. When I run,
You go full bore.
I got some rabbit in me. You know
my
what
boy.
I'm saying?
My boy commits.
I go.
Okay.
So what happened is he left to go get the sheriff.
Right.
Then I get up like right after he leaves, and then I walked down the hall.
Sure.
Okay. So then one of the sheriffs stopped me like, hey, where you going? You can't leave after checking. I said, I got to get something out of my car for Peter. He's like, oh, okay. So I left and I ran. I physically ran out because this is in Perth Amboy like years ago.
Oh my God.
I went Smith Street, home, just took off.
You
And
ran
actually-
all the way home?
Yeah,
You
ran
didn't
all
have
the
a
way.
car. You lied.
Nope.
There was no car in the parking lot?
There was nothing.
And
There was
so, did you drive to Georgia? You flew to Georgia?
Oh, I took the train down to Georgia. Actually,
Holy
that
shit.
was one time. I think when I was on the run, I took the bus. I took the bus down to Georgia when I went on
Because it's
the
less
lam.
conspicuous?
Yeah. So I had a no
how
bail
they do it in the
warrant
movies.
out of New Jersey, and I was just so I took the bus. I hit up I think my brother for the bus fare, and then I stayed with my sister for a little while when she was living up here.
Jay wasn't doing well. The bus fare is not very
It
much.
was $100.
You
I
know.
couldn't put the scratch
Couldn't put
together.
that-
Couldn't put it together, man.
Couldn't do any favors for anybody to get
Nah,
that money. All
so
right.
I stayed here for a little while, and then I just took off down to Georgia, man.
When you
and-
got to Georgia, did you feel like
well, here's the
like,
thing. When I went
like a
down
sigh
to
of relief?
Georgia, my sister's husband, he was wanted by America's Most Wanted. He was one of the top 20 fugitives.
Stiff
at that
competition.
Yeah, he shot a cop or something like that.
Oh, okay, all
so
right.
he was down there when I was down there. So my sister was harboring multiple fugitives.
Shout out to
Shout out to my sister, ride or
wow,
die. Yeah.
That girl's got a strong
If
back,
you-
just
if-
carrying the fucking family of
if-
fugitives.
If you're wanted for murder,
Need a place to
you
lay
go
low.
find my sister and she'll put you up. No, but so I went down there, realized that I had to, it was just too much. I had to come back. I couldn't get a regular job. I was working at this little pizza place for
How's that work? Like they can't cross state lines to get you. Can
Oh, no,
Georgia
they could-
wrap you up?
Oh hell yeah, dude! If they could extradite me
Okay.
real quick. I was driving when I was down there.
With
driving.
no license?
So hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
In other states, though, like in Las Vegas, there was so many cars without license plates. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw a
it's just-
couple every single day. And it was very rare that I saw the police pull anybody over at all. So in other states, they kind of play it fast and loose. And Georgia strikes me as a place that plays it a little fast and loose.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, it's the South.
Yeah.
And it was like southern Georgia, so it was kind of sketchy down there.
Hot,
Super segregated.
sticky. Yeah?
Yeah.
The segregation was real. What
Well,
year was
it's
this?
this was, let's see, I'm 36 this October, so this was 10, I was 22.
22.
So yeah, this had to be 14 years ago almost.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's still like that down south. I mean, it's like the Mexicans stay with the Mexican, black with the black, the white with the whites.
Don't I remember
They
you,
don't fuck
saying
around.
you wanted to move down there? Or you consider
Well,
sometimes?
we're thinking about it. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
You get like a lot of bang for your buck. Like right now, we're shopping for houses. So a
But that's
house
about
up
it, right?
here
It's
for,
just
like,
cheaper.
Pretty much.
Other than that, it's hotter and stickier and
It's-
racistier.
and racistier and
Yeah.
as fuck. And you can't curse too much down there. If,
That's
if
nice,
like a
though.
woman curses around a man,
Oh.
they're taken back. But I mean, they'll throw the N word with a hard R. At
Seems
the end,
like they've got
just in casual company.
some blind spots.
Yeah, they're unbalanced.
They're a
I
little
would say
unbalanced.
They're
Yeah,
unbalanced.
their priorities are a little mixed up. I
So,
do
yes.
kind of appreciate that politeness though. Sometimes
they're very polite. And
like
then
when I hear
you
people
leave-
swear too much. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Sometimes it's just a little.
it's a bit much.
It's a bit much, you know.
Well, you got to put them together right. You got to
Yeah.
use the F word like a verb.
yes.
If you just, I mean, I've known people to be like, fuckity fuck, and
yeah, and it's
I'm just like, I don't understand what you're doing.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know if you're passionate or not, or if you just are grasping for straws. You have nothing to say. I don't know.
So I, after figuring it out down there and figuring out that I had to come back and turn myself in to have a somewhat of a normal life,
Yes.
came back here and then I turned myself in. That was a fucking another whole story, and yeah, it was good. You
Yeah?
know? It was good. I came back here, I did my thing and everything, and I don't know
And now
how
look at
I don't
you.
know how that came about,
Now
like
look
how
at
your
you.
week was going.
You went to
But,
prison this week. Huh? So,
Yeah, but I got locked up this week. No,
no, Georgia. We were talking about Georgia and how
so,
you got down there.
now
is your
going
family
down there? No warrants.
No warrants.
Not on the run.
A new man.
Yep, but a couple bucks
A
in
little
an
shiny.
envelope.
There you go.
For the niece.
Tossing a
It's-
couple of stacks around. Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna
that's
be
right.
nice.
Because your niece is.
Well, you got to remember, my niece is. This isn't going to be like. It's a weird Southern wedding because my niece is like half black, half Hispanic.
Okay.
You know.
Why is that weird?
Well, I mean, we when we get together, like, you know, it's
What
a
do you-
multiracial.
eat?
It's a multiracial. That's the thing. I don't know. Could be rice and beans. Could be barbecue.
Now
I got to check when I get down
What
there.
are you showing up with? You have any plans for bringing? Because you can't show up empty-handed.
I mean, we're
You said an
going
envelope full
with
of cash.
couple, yeah, 500 in cash.
That's nothing wrong with that. That's nice.
Nothing wrong. Hey, to start your life, here's 500.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice half knot for the girl.
I remember
Nothing
when we
wrong
were
with that.
getting married though, and like, you know, some people would show up and he'd be like, they'd have just this, you cheap prick, you know.
Ooh.
Here's
I got
$100
married-
in a card. Fuck you.
I got married in my living room. Nobody brought me anything. Nobody was there for me. It was all
It's all
Jehovah's
about
Witnesses.
you, isn't it, Dave?
Well, you know,
all about you.
In this particular case, it wasn't. Your boy was alone in a room full of Jehovah's Witnesses. I was very heavy set in a thrift shop suit.
You were very fat.
I was
yeah.
very fat, looking pretty rough. Had my handlebar mustache. Was about the only thing I had going for me at the time, besides a
Not
beautiful
bad.
wife.
That and you know, just started MMA. Did you just start MMA?
Yeah, you know what's funny is when I started at Lionheart, it took me a long time to shed the weight because I kind of just like thought working out was enough and the diet didn't really have anything to do with it. Because historically, in childhood, in your teenage years, that's really how it is. You could eat like a fucking dumpster.
Yeah.
And as long as you're just climbing trees and being a silly goose all the time, you're going to be shredded. And
Boy, when I got into malt liquor, that's when the pounds really started accumulating fast.
Yeah.
We went hard in the paint on Colt 45 for like a couple of years.
That was
and
your thing,
I
Colt
was just
45?
like, that, King Cobra, anything cheap.
we were Steel Reserve boys.
Yeah, see, I wasn't always a big stealer. I was
not good.
very adamant of how much better Colt 45 is, and I would argue with people
What
about
about
this.
Old English?
Nope, not an
Not
old
an OE
English
guy?
guy. Nope, always a Colt 45 guy,
Okay.
man.
I
You
respect
know?
that. I
Just-
respect
Just like
consistency.
Lando Calrissian.
There you
I
go.
like Colt
Yeah.
45.
Well,
It's classy.
I agreed. Don't really know what that
So,
means.
so Georgia.
Yes.
I'm going down there. It should be pretty fun. I got that going. I think next week.
Okay.
That's a week coming up, and then we got Matt coming on the show.
That'll be cool.
That's gonna be fun. Then you're gonna do a solo cast. It's gonna
That'll be
be
cool.
Dave versus the world. That's gonna
Yeah.
be interesting.
And that's where I
I'll
get
be able
to-
to listen to that.
Unleash all of my narcissism
Unleash the fury, Mitch.
and ridiculous
Unleash the
ideas
fury.
with nobody keeping me in check.
Oh my god.
It'll just be the Wild West
I
of,
just-
of narcissism and naivete.
It's gonna be Dave telling you how amazing every single thing is. Because I tried watching one of you were like, I went on a flight. What's that? What is a flight? You get on a flight, you land in another part of the world.
What are you talking
I mean,
about?
I'm in a can that flies me to another.
Sure, that
Yes,
sounds-
that's what flying is,
Yeah,
Dave.
well, I've only flown twice or three times in my life.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, I'm
mean,
not really.
Dude, even I've flown.
My
I don't
childhood
know, a
was
little bit more than
not
that.
filled with travel and things
No,
like
neither
that.
was mine, but mine was filled with a lot of running. So
running across state
Dude,
lines,
I took
dodging the law.
I took a bus to Texas that took 23 hours, bro.
That
it
sucks
was
ass.
the worst trip of my life.
Well, I had a little bit of a week, and not really too much exciting. I was really working a lot, but yesterday a very interesting thing happened to me where I'm wrapping up the end of the night. We're coming back from some friend's house, and as we're walking into the lobby of my project building, I see two men of, you know, they look like they
Shady
had
characters?
yeah, they look like they may have had a substance issue. And I'm just judging that by like mainly their teeth and their physique and things like that. And these two men,
Teeth, physique, color of their skin.
well, that's not we'll go with and these two men were trying to help a guy who had fallen out of a wheelchair.
it happens.
The man who had fallen out of the wheelchair was morbidly obese. I mean, you know, he's knocking on my 600-pound life's door. TLC is already in discussions with this guy.
Was it a wheelchair, like a manual, or was
It
it
was a
like
manual wheelchair. Manual wheelchair.
Oh boy!
And his
Wasn't
legs
a rascal?
His legs were wrapped up in compression tape. You know, the that tan tape, and so I'm.
So
I'm
he's
walking,
an athlete.
He's an athlete, and that's he sustained an injury. That's why he put the weight on. You know, it happens.
That's why you got
Little
that
HGH will fix
compression
that.
tape.
But what ends up happening is I'm about to go into the elevator, and I go, I gotta fucking help this guy. So I ask my wife to stay there with my son for a second, and I go over there and I say, "You boys need some help?" And they go, "Yeah, man, please, please." I'm like, okay, cool, dude. I could have used you because it was me.
I've told Cindy and you multiple times. Should anything really serious arise, call me.
If I called you and said, "Hey, Jay, I got a fucking
Guy on my hallway, I'd be like,
Who's
"Hey,
falling out of the
Dave,
wheelchair?
ninth best friend. I'll see you in 20."
I haven't gone up in the rankings."
No,
Maybe
you
8?
actually. I was thinking about dropping you because you are a piece of absolute shit. You never almost answer my text messages.
That's historically who I am, though. You
Yo,
can ask any
I'm
of
like,
my
dude,
first, second, and third best friends.
I'm just like, bro, I know you don't know a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't even talk to you throughout the day.
That's true.
The fact that I know you're looking and going, fuck you, and then turning the phone over.
No, I'll give you this. What
you
I
are
do,
an absolute piece of shit.
because
when
you
it
say a
comes
lot
to
of funny
that.
stuff. I'll open my phone and I'll go, and then I'll put it back in my pocket.
But I need that assurance. Like what
I
I
get-
said
I
was
get it.
funny.
I don't know what it
Because I
is.
laugh. I go, oh, this is gonna be good. He's gonna.
It is funny.
He's gonna get a kick
No,
out
no,
of
no.
this.
The things you say are very funny. They do make me laugh. I'll open the phone. I will actually laugh. Not even just like I'll do an out loud thing because a lot of the shit you say is really funny. And then I'll put it in my fucking pocket and I'll go on about my day. I don't know why I'm like that. I've always been like that. It's why I don't have friends. I complain about not having friends, but it's almost facetiously. Or did I say that right? Facetiously?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah,
you're
pretty
on
close.
that thing.
Because I'm all friended up. I don't know. I don't need.
Well, I got room because 9 is just bumped to 10.
Well,
so
what you don't realize is
I'm
though,
about to move 11 to 9.
you are on the list.
9 goes to 10.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that is so gross.
I gotta stop doing that.
Here, man, the show for a minute. I got to use the bathroom.
Okay. Well, now I don't have this guy respond to me. But what I ended up doing was because this guy, like I said, knocking on the door of my 600-pound life, and he's on the ground. He's sitting down, and these two wispy crackheads can't lift him up. And I'm not a big guy. I'm only 5'7", 170 pounds, and I'm trying to fucking like his arm is so big in comparison to my body, this dude, and I'm trying to get him by the arm and lift him up, and I could feel that these other guys they're not putting in the work, they're not doing anything really, and it's all me, and I kind of got to be honest, the guy wasn't really trying to help himself either. He might as well have been dead. I kind of at one point I was like, "Are you even trying?" And he didn't say anything. He was breathing really heavy, and he had the Corona mask on, which I didn't have, so I very well could have caught it. But I at some point we readjust and I get under his arm, you know, kind of like the as you see in the movies where the guy's injured, he tosses his arm over your shoulder and you lift him up, and I go, that's got to be a good way. So if I can get this man's arm,
There you go. I just walked in on that. There you go, describing movie things to try to
don't. I was doing
to work in real life.
No.
Like
Yeah, it does-
throwing
it
your
does work.
wife in a fucking cold shower, which is just
So
angers her.
I didn't know. I am not a doctor, all right, and I didn't know what to do. I was very panicked. But if I'm trying to pick you up, this isn't doing shit.
No.
So I had to sling him. I had to sling him over my shoulder.
I would have got around him, and I would have got under hooks. I'd have got around. I would have gable gripped, and then I would have lifted like a squat.
My arms could never get around him. There's no way I could have clasped my.
Well, I got a
my
72-inch
You
reach.
got long arms on you.
I'll get
You might have
around
been able
that
to do
big
it.
boy, yeah.
Well, I did manage to get.
Well, I mean, couldn't you have like hooked underneath his arms like this, kind of like?
Well, because you're trying
like
to
a
put him
Bulgarian
into a wheelchair.
squat?
You know what I mean? So like,
I would have just been like, I would have threw him.
he was so big, Jay. This is how I realized, like, oh my god, I need to start lifting because this fucking dude was
Just eating meat ain't covering it, bro.
completely unmovable. But I did manage to, and it kind of sucked because what's gonna happen if I go under your armpit right now, right this? What happens is I'm leaning here. I got a face full of crotch.
Yeah, you do.
I got a face full of crotch. My man pissed himself.
Nice.
So
So you got that smell in
that
your
was a
face.
strong smell
And then also, I would imagine
under his
that
armpit.
I also imagine that he isn't clean himself very well when
No.
he's in the tub.
I don't know when the last time he changed
At
that
what-
compression tape.
At what point is like your humanity, like where does this is gross override your humanity?
It doesn't. I just have to suffer through this fucking poor guy.
Get piss all over you.
is
And armpit juice.
Yeah, dude, I smelled fucking terrible when it was over. But long
See,
story
I
short,
get upset in those things. I'd be like, "You fat mother."
I asked him. I was like, "Are you even trying?" And he didn't say anything. He was just breathing like a French bulldog, like in the heat. Just. I was like, "Oh my god, bro!" So I mean, eventually,
what's the worst that happens? He's upset at you. He's not gonna get up and chase you.
No. I didn't feel like that he was upset about it. This is another thing too. So what ends up happening is one of the wispy crackheads calls over one of his thicker buddies. His thicker buddy says, "Get your fucking weight up, boy," and slaps the hat off his head. Very, very aggressive. He's like, "Yo, can you help?" He's like, "Get your he said, I think his name was like C. He's like, "Get your fucking weight up, C." Blap, slaps the hat off his fucking head, shoves him to the side, and then proceeds to not be of any use at all. It was Jay. I'm a small guy.
You should have smacked him and be like, "Get your fucking weight up."
It was
Tyrone.
like the lack of empathy. None of them gave a fuck about homeboy having like an asthma attack, being 600 pounds. But it was all me, dude. I finally got under his fucking arm, and I'm close enough to him that I can lift with my legs and stand up, and then they push the fucking thing underneath him. Nobody says thank you.
You know what though?
Nobody said shit to me.
You know what though? This is where I tell people this kind of shit all the time, because like sometimes like it'll be Steph or something, like, "Yeah, but well this person did," and I go, "You know what though? That's where that fucking person's bar is. Mine's up a little higher." Bill, like, you know, so it's like that guy didn't say thank you, but I know what I did was right, and I got to live with myself. However they want to, you know, with them, that's their thing. But how I need to live with myself and have the feeling that I have about me, knowing that I'm a decent human being,
Right.
Trying to help somebody.
Well, it was
who's
important for me to have my son see that. You know, you help people when they're fucked up.
I'll never forget. I was driving out in one of my routes in Vineland, and I was with this dude JD, who was at the time a new guy who's a buyer now, and like we're just kind of starting to like get to know each other. He's kind of like a big like tough dude. And
is he the guy with the
thing
on his eye?
Yeah. It's a birthmark, but it looks like a black.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck me up now because I identified him as the guy with the thing on his eye.
Guy's got hammers.
He's a big kind of scary character too.
Yeah, no, I've went and I've held mitts for him and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a good dude though. I like JD a lot. So this is actually one of the reasons why I like him as much as I do, because we were driving in Vineland, and I was driving on I think it was like 70. That wasn't 73. It was like South Whitehorse Pike. It was like that over there, and we were at a light, and I made a left, and we're driving, and there's like a CVS, and an old man trying to get into his van fell, and I saw that, and I looked at JD, and he's like, "I got him." And because I went to stop, and I was like, I stopped in the middle of the road, and he's like, "I got him." And then he went out, and he ran in, and I went through the back in, and I was like, after that experience with him, I was like, "I like you, man."
Yeah.
I was like, that's how I know I share that, where I just knew that he's a good dude. When I see him doing something like just being a good human being.
Yeah, because it doesn't...
It's that humanitarian thing where you're just... You know, you're like, that guy obviously knows at least good, bad, you know.
People who are doing good things at no benefit to them, that's, you know, that's altruism. That's
it's also, look, about with the altruistic thing, it's like, is it altruism? Because it makes what you did good.
Yeah,
but you also feel good from
so you do
doing
gain something. Sure.
You know, so it's not
exactly true altruism. Yeah, altruism is like donating,
completely selflessness. With no
anonymously and never bragging about it. Which I don't know if I have that capacity. I'd have to tell.
Yeah, because I did that recently where one of my buddies set up a GoFundMe. Check him out. I think his name is like Bear something on my Instagram. It's Jerry. I call him my little Jer Bear. I do. I call him my little Jer Bear. And he set something up for his dog that like has a tumor or something like that. And then I donated to the GoFundMe, and I was like, I feel good.
Yeah.
Hey Jerry, just want to let you know I saved some money.
No, You gotta let him know, though, bro. It can't just end there.
He's like, you're such a good guy. I was like, oh, I needed that so bad.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I mean, that's it.
please pet the top of my head and tell me I'm a good boy.
That's not a big ask, man. I just want to feel like a good guy.
I just want.
If I could get out of this life,
if I just want to rub a little of that shine off,
That's
be
all.
like, hey, man, if I did something good, you could do something good.
is that too much to ask
And
for?
the round robin of doing good things to people begins.
If I died and I had enough people say like, yeah, man, it sucks he's gone. He was a good fucking dude though. That would be nice.
That's all I want,
That would
man.
be nice.
Honestly, that's really all I want.
But yeah, that guy, nobody thanked me, and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. But
So your week was a little different than mine.
my week was a little bit different. Than
I
yours.
have fun, exciting things coming up, and you're helping my 600-pound life people back into their.
Maybe I'll see him again, and maybe
Maybe you just run and drop kick them, and just.
maybe he'll that.
What if he
random
dies?
mixed breed baby boy?
What if he dies and then he leaves you? His life insurance was like $250,000.
I don't know if he has.
How
life insurance. I
sweet
kinda
would
feel like
that
that's probably
be?
not true. But in other news, my little boy on Tuesday is starting boxing. He'll be going to a boxing class because Pappy can't teach him boxing because
Uncle Jay could teach you how to throw them hands. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
why you're
probably-
spending all that money.
because I
You
need
can
him
literally
to
bring him over here for an hour.
I need him to go and meet other kids. He can't. He doesn't have anybody
That's
to play
true.
with, man.
You're right.
This fucking stupid virus has got my kid like bouncing off the walls and shit, and he's got so much fight in him, so much like roughhousing, so much play in him. It's fucking insane. Like the other day,
Yeah,
we went at it for
it's
over
like watching
an hour.
a Jack Russell, he's got so much damn energy
It's
and nothing to
crazy.
do,
And then like I get
no ball to chase.
You know, your boy doesn't have a big gas tank, so eventually I go, "Hey, man, I'm fucking good." And
Kid
he's
wears you
still,
out.
he's still
Yeah.
got the look in his eyes, and then every once in a while he'll fucking
Dude.
ding and crack me in the jaw, and I'm
When
like,
he,
"Oh, I
when
fucking
he came
said-"
over here, he played nonstop for like 3
He's got
hours.
a lot of energy, but you know how it was when you were a kid, man. It was like you were just boiling, overflowing with fucking energy, like never
Well, I had
stopped.
a little brother.
Oh yeah, and
you
you
know?
just beat the shit out of him, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, we used to roughhouse together. We were
I would
only
fuck my
3 years.
cousins up something terrible.
That's what I'm saying. If he had a little brother, no pressure. But if he had a little brother,
I recently discovered a bump on the old ball sack there.
Testicles.
Well, actually on the meat inside the sack, and I did a little googling, and Google said you've got fucking cancer.
Yep.
And of course, you never believe what Google says because if you do, then you're
Everybody's got
dying
cancer.
tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. But it did make me go.
well, I mean, that definitely might be cancer. But I mean, what's the worst that happened? They cut your testicle out.
Not the worst, right?
They give you Percocet.
Would
you
they
take
fi- you
off
think
of
they would
work for
fill
a
it?
month? It's a pretty good time.
Would you put like a prosthetic just for symmetry
No, they
and
could
balance?
they could put a fake ball.
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
cool.
That's
That would
what
be
I'm
cool.
saying. So look, you get your testicle taken out. They write you a nice script of Percocet.
Hmm.
You take a month off of work. You go back. You still got 2 testicles. 'cause
Hey,
they'll
then
put
I'm a
fake-
survivor, right? Then I'm a cancer survivor. Then I get
That's
to toot
true.
that horn, you know, because
You get that little thing tattooed on you, that little ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, but it did make me think for a moment, like
You
I
get
never,
real sexy behind the ear,
or like a little
like a little ribbon,
like a little ribbon,
sexy cancer
little pink
survivor.
ribbon. That'd be cute.
Well, you don't have breast cancer. That's breast cancer.
Is it
Whatever
what's
the color is for
it
nuts.
brown? It's a brown
Doo-doo
ribbon.
brown.
We would get the guys get doo-doo brown. But it made me think for a moment. I was like, oh, so even though I don't really want another kid, it almost seems like the potential for that option to be taken away and that it's out of my hands, and that kind of made me sad. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you need.
The last thing I
could
need
do it.
I would have so much
Hey,
angst towards
hey,
that kid.
what's
I would
what's-
hug my kid and then I would head kick that kid. I could never be a good stepdad.
What's a ninth best friend for?
No,
if not
god
to
damn it! No,
impregnate
don't.
your wife?
No, you son of a bitch! I would feel so much resentment towards that child, and then as they sent my kid,
What if my
with
kid
that kid?
that I had with Cindy like started beating Jack
Oh,
up?
I'd beat him up.
And he's-
every time somebody turned around, I'd be like, and then I hit him real quick, and I'd be like, why is he crying?
I
I
was
don't
like,
understand
you
why he's
bastard,
crying.
that's your child.
God damn it! But I couldn't. I don't know how people do good. I could never be a good step parent. I know I couldn't.
My dad, he pretty much raised my sisters, and they're like my half sisters.
Oh, okay.
So he was around, and raising them. They're his, I guess, former stepfather because my mom and him had been divorced forever. But that's their dad. They
Yeah.
know my dad as dad.
Yeah,
you
people
know?
that can pull that off, it's a real because step parenting
I mean, my dad
can
must
go
have been
wrong so
fucking
easily.
nuts because he's like, here's this woman, she's got 3 kids, 3 different daddies, and he's like, you know what? I want to get
I
involved.
want
I
in.
want to be in the that business.
I want in. That's a place that
I
I
want to throw
want
my
to be.
fucking
That's
my
a
hat
woman
into the ring of that one.
Whose head I want to rest my neck to.
Dude, respect. Because
yeah.
if you think about it, that's how I got here, bro. Through all those bad decisions my parents made.
Oh yeah.
Led me to right here.
Hey man,
talking
if you
to
could be
fine
a good,
people.
if you
Drinking
could be a
rain.
good, don't
It's delicious.
don't
It's
plug-
cold. It's refreshing, and it has branched chain amino acids. The
Unlike-
building blocks of life.
You know, I've really stopped drinking Bang Energy since you don't slurp, viciously slurp into.
That's a part of the promo.
No, that's not. And then do the nice crisp.
That's
at the end of it.
Yeah, that's
the
Pepsi
Coca-Cola Pepsi thing.
Yeah, Pepsi used to.
I get so offended. I'll be driving and I'll hear on the radio like
What's
summer
worse?
just isn't summer unless you have an ice cold Coca-Cola. I'm like, you
What's-
fucking dumb bitch. I haven't had an ice cold Coca-Cola
Whoa.
in 27
Then
years.
you don't know what you're missing.
I
Dude,
guess.
If
That's
you
why
get
this summer is
Chinese
whack.
food, I don't agree with Joey Diaz on everything. But if you get some East Coast Chinese food,
Yeah.
and you don't wash that down with a nice cold Coca-Cola,
I like an orange
You
soda.
don't know what you're fucking.
What's your
missing.
favorite soda?
If I had to choose,
Yeah.
like if they were like, Jay, you're gonna die. Here's a can of soda. What do you want? I'd probably keep it OG and say a can of Coca-Cola. OG.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that seems like a fucking waste, and it's dumb. I like a cream soda. I like an orange soda.
You would.
Those
Queer.
are.
Sorry, guys.
Hey man, you
Awesome.
can't. That's the very. You're disparaging an entire community with
Boy,
that.
they're gonna cancel the
Wow.
shit out of us.
And you thought that I was far from the par when I said morbidly obese white bitches. And what was the
Oh,
other one
yeah.
that I said? I don't remember what the other one I said was.
Couple of them.
Disrespectful.
Couple.
But I like a cream soda. Nothing. I'm not a big fan of a root beer.
You hate on me for my original Coca-Cola.
No,
You're gonna have
no,
a Fanta.
I
feel like
yeah,
punching you
dude,
in the
an
face.
orange Fanta.
Pineapple
Fuck.
Fanta used to be my jam.
Oh, like Inca Cola pineapple is
Wanna
pretty
Fanta,
sweet.
wanna Fanta.
Shout out to Fanta for sponsoring the show.
I got nothing.
So anyway, one of the other things that I
That's
did.
so weird when there's just long pauses of quietness. I gotta tell you,
no, I
man,
deserve that one though.
There is there's an art to podcasting. This is an art. The more I've been doing it, the more I've realized that it's not. It's
It's not
it's not easy. Unless
you're us.
Well, Michael Jordan makes basketball look easy, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, you can see the countless hours.
Ryan Sheckler that makes skateboarding easy, and I found that out the hard way that it's not. But I mean, there's absolutely an art to this, man. Whether it's like on the end of the promotional thing, or like getting like trying to get the like a buzz going about the podcast, and then also just coming in here and then performing.
Yeah.
And making it an enjoyable experience for everybody who's listening.
If you listen to this and it sounds laid back and relaxed and it sounds like a fluid conversation and it sounds almost like you're listening to two of your own personal buddies, like you're hanging out with your buddies.
That's
then
us
we did
doing
the
our
job.
job.
Yeah, then we did the job because it's really not easy to do that. It's much easier to get on camera, to get on video or audio, to be clunky, to be hesitant, to be nervous, to be all of these different things that are just.
Well, being a part of this, I started like listening and following like a lot of like podcasts and giving them a shot because
There's no shortage of them.
I was just like thinking that, man, I wish people would do that with us because I feel like we have a decent product, and if we could just have more people listen to it, and if I'm, wanting people to do that for me, I should reciprocate that and do that for other people.
Yeah.
So I've been like listening to a lot, and you got to weed out a lot of crap because the best one that I've found, honestly, has been Bearded and Barefoot Podcast.
The Australian guys?
I love those guys.
Shout
man.
out to our mates in Australia.
Good day, guys.
Good day, cunts.
I honestly like those guys.
They like cunts. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they are pretty good. They have a nice flow. And
I
they're-
love
and
those
they're-
guys, man.
They're
They're
fun.
funny, man. They're really funny, and they're good storytellers and stuff. I absolutely love them. They're my favorite like bunch of guys that
Well-
I've found because like I've listened to a bunch of other guys, and I was just like, the audio's bad, the material isn't.
Some people try too hard. Trying too hard can be, you can shoot yourself in the foot doing that, which is like, of
'Cause-
course you want to try hard. Of course you want to make a good product, but there's a line that you cross when you're trying way too hard where, I don't know, you come off as fucking annoying, right? Any time you were younger and you were chilling with your buddies and somebody came into the group and they were just trying too hard.
That guy's trying hard.
They were fucking annoying. And it's like, you get it. I get why you're doing it. You just want to be cool. You want to be friends. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But There is something that you've got to peel back a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why like some people do comedic podcasts, you know, and then some people do like TED Talks. It's not you don't have to have a funny podcast to have a podcast. You
Sure.
could have an informative podcast and
Right.
still be very entertaining, you know. But yeah, I just because keeping it real with everybody out there, the original concept for this podcast was
my
to
God.
shit on people. That was the original idea.
And
We're
how
gonna
much did
pull
we
up-
both look each other in the eyes and go, yes, that's the
Oh,
way, bro.
Boy, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah, it was this idea that we were going to take people that we like admired,
Or hate it.
probably wasn't going to go the first way.
And then really just shout them
Just
out and destroy them.
yeah, we were
on-
going to shit on them.
And that was just going to be a bad idea.
How much of a bummer would it be if every time you tuned into the episode, it was
Instead
just
of-
Jay and Dave fucking shitting on everybody?
It
and-
would have been Dave and Jay shit on the world.
Yeah, and you would have given up pretty quickly because it's, you know, I don't know how we didn't have the foresight in those initial moments to go like, people aren't going to like that. But we both looked at each other and we were like, that's a great fucking idea. And luckily we never went in that direction. It was like we both made this unconscious decision to not do that. And we
I'm
never
so-
agreed to not doing it.
I'm so much
happier.
So much happier that we just went with like a funny
Agreed.
kind of just loose hangout podcast.
Yeah, a feel-good thing because,
Couple
hey,
topics here and there, a little fight talk, little
Mhm.
weekly dive shit, and yeah, and just trying to make everybody laugh. And like I said, cut an hour out of their week. I was like watching these recent people that started following us on our Instagram. They're like a podcast promotional company thing, whatever.
There's a
there-
few of those.
and there's a bunch of like bullshit facts that are just kind of obvious, like. People listen. 97% of people listen to podcasts in their car. It's like, yeah, no shit.
I've
What are
seen
you-
that type
What
of
are
shit.
you doing?
They're trying
or
to
telling
give you
me?
value, but they're doing it in very, they're not really trying hard. They're not giving
It's just
you an
soliciting.
angle.
They're just throwing shit up against the wall and hope some of it sticks.
Yeah, I don't know that what the real formula for creating a successful podcast is, but like you can't fake chemistry. If you're doing a podcast with another person, like, cheers to that, baby. Ting. But you can't fake chemistry.
Real recognize real.
That's right. I know you're not the biggest fan of them, but I actually still have it pulled up on my laptop here, which is the Your Mom's House podcast live edition.
It's hard
that
to
they just
watch
did.
when I'm in the truck and like I pull up to another car at a red light and
They're talking
there's
about
some real intense shit going
Yeah.
on in that podcast,
I
especially
enjoy
when they
them,
got
though.
that guy Champagne going in.
Robert Paul
and
Champagne.
I'm just like, boy, there's a lot of like N words getting thrown around
Yes.
and
But I
rapey
think
stuff,
they're
and I'm
so
just
funny. All right, this weekend on Friday we had a little date night, the wife and I, and of course you know that we're very limited on places we can go and things we can do because of this fucking super sweet virus that we've got. And so we decided that we were going to buy tickets to Your Mom's House Live and Uncensored, a special virtual event, and we got a chartreuse board. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Did you say chartreuse?
Yep.
No, that's not the word.
Thank you very much for
It's charcuterie.
charcuterie. That's a fun word.
Chartreuse.
I've been calling it
That's
chartreuse
been
since
calling
my
it
wife said that we were going to have it about a week
Chartreuse is
ago.
almost like, I think, like sinister is what it means. Like kind of like a chartreuse grin.
Well,
like
we had a very sinister snack board that I've spent a week calling it that.
Oh my God! You've been telling the people at ShopRite when you're buying it,
Yeah.
hey, I'm making a chartreuse
Well,
board
I told
tonight.
the people at hey, let's not get
uh,
carried away. Your boy went to Wegmans for the things that I needed for my chartreuse
Speaking
board.
of that, where's the money from the camera?
Hey man, don't fucking hassle
Well,
me.
That's what I called you about because I was like, this motherfucker has cured salted meat money and cheese money, but he doesn't have my fucking money for my camera.
Hey, listen, paydays are Monday, all right? You get
better-
your fucking money.
You better send me some bread.
When I say you're going to get your money,
Don't you
all right?
fucking rise
I'll
up
slap
on
you
me.
right in your mouth.
Don't you rise
Don't
up on
fucking
me.
hassle me.
You lesser
for
than.
cash. You lesser than son of a. All right, so
Don't you rise up on me.
we get this the things that we need for our charcuterie
Charcuterie.
charcuterie for our
Just say
charcuterie
a
board.
cheese board.
No, it was much more than a cheese board, sir. There was fucking
Olives
cured
and meat,
meats.
yeah.
Oh, I had these stuffed hot peppers that were stuffed with ham and some sort of fancy cheese. Fuck, bro. But let me tell you something about watching disgusting videos on Your Mom's House live
While eating chartreuse.
and trying to eat stinky cheeses and fermented meats, aged meats.
Can I ask you something? Is this your
Sure.
first time into eating like that?
Eating fermented foods like on that level.
Do you remember how I always tell you that like
Now be careful. I need you to.
the gelato thing? How you just come into gelato? And I've been eating meats and cheeses.
Oh,
and
my name's Jay. I've been eating chartreuse boards since '97.
I'm just
This
saying.
is nothing new to me.
If you
I'm
would have,
Jay.
if you would have called me and said, Jay, I'm looking to put a charcuterie board together.
Chartreuse, yeah.
Actually, you would have said, I'm looking to put a chartreuse board, and I would have said, that's not the name of it. If that's what you're putting together, Dave,
Sure, yeah.
you might want to use the proper wordage
No.
for what you're doing.
I wasn't looking for any advice.
I would have told you right off the bat, if you're calling it a chartreuse board, it's probably not for you. Maybe once you get some Hormel, like the pullback things with the crackers.
What's wrong with Hormel?
It goes nice with your trailer park.
Well, I live in a project building, sir, not a fucking trailer park. All right, somebody needs you to come proper with your facts.
I could have been like, hey, why don't you get this meat? Why don't you get this? Why don't you get some hot sopressata? Don't get that cheese. It's stinky
just
cheese.
To fucking
I
throw
know your
words around
palate.
that I don't know the meaning to.
I'm just saying.
Look, man, I got some salams. I got a little bit of salamis, right? There was like I went to the Wegmans.
Now was it salami or sopressata?
I don't read the fucking things. I look at the meat and I get the meat, all right? I don't have time for reading. I'm a
This
very
is what I'm
busy
saying.
man with a lot going on.
It's upsetting. It's like when a passenger on the Titanic
Sure.
from the second class goes to the third class,
Yeah.
and everybody knows that guy is a second class passenger.
yeah, and I get what you're saying.
That is you trying to come up into my world
Right.
that I've been living in for.
Yes, that's
you
it.
want to
You're
make the
very-
move to
Look,
upper middle class.
All I'm saying is, all jokes aside,
learn your charcuterie.
all jokes aside, I want to slap you in your stupid fucking mouth if you ever talk like that to me again. All right.
Okay.
Now we're gonna start afresh.
I'll
I'm
give
gonna
you
tell-
that. I'll
I'm gonna
give you
tell
that.
you.
You get one though, because you say something like
One
that
per
again.
show?
I'll give you that's it, just one.
Just one.
for your life.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the only time I'm gonna get away with that, and I'm gonna.
You say something
hold on,
like
wait,
that
wait.
again, you're gonna have two upper middle class guys. One who's been there for a while, and one who's new. Go to Middlesex
Who's
County.
new?
You.
No, go to Middlesex. I'm not gonna get. You're gonna assault me. I'm gonna tell the police that you assaulted me because of my having been fed up with your ridicule of my chartreuse board. And the
there we
police
go.
are gonna look at you, a tatted gorilla,
No, they're
and
gonna
me,
go-
a tight-faced, young, handsome man who can do no wrong.
I'm gonna pull out my last.
and they're gonna look
6
at your
weeks.
record.
First of all, I'm gonna pull out my last 6 pay stubs, and they're gonna go, oh, obviously I had this guy pegged all wrong. And then I'm gonna say, hey, why don't you check
gonna
his
peg
tax records? And then they're gonna pull
What
up
is
what
that?
you've been making, and they're gonna go, hey, let's take this poor white trash out
No.
of here.
All right, your boy makes some money now, and whatever you got going on with your company, where you sling rotors but are also the undercover muscle where you assault people to get good prices out of them, that's got nothing to do with me and why.
Whatever it takes, buddy.
All I'm saying is I did have a lovely weekend up until the very first video that I saw, and for those of you who have watched the Your Mom's House Live, the first video that pops up, spoiler alert, by the way, is a pretty fair-looking chick. She's got pink or purple hair.
Okay.
But she's not bad looking at all. But she's ass naked, and she's just slapping around this, not absurdly large, but pretty considerable sized clitoris. And I'm with a mouthful of baby artichoke. And baby artichoke
I was
hearts.
gonna say, if you had a mouthful of like prosciutto, it's kind of slimy and salty. I would have throw up.
Well,
you know I'm not good with stuff like that.
I got
Today
it.
I googled what newborn baby shit looked like because Steph was like,
It looks black.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's mucusy shit. And
I
I,
thought
was
my
like,
kid was dying when he shit.
Ugh.
I gotta pull this up just for you though because it was a great picture. I thought as far as artistry in photography goes, I did a great job of really kind of the meat placement.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that is pretty good.
Super gross. And that's how they opened up, huh?
Well, no, they opened up with this. Like I said,
Can you imagine if
Decent
you were
looking-
like trying to tell your mom?
imagine it was
or
our show where we're just like playing right over here in the background. We got a
hardcore
TV.
pornography.
And me and Jay are just hard in the pants, just watching.
Just giving ourselves over the hands
Yeah.
pandies, just rubbing our dicks.
But she's slapping it around, and it just resembled.
And are they laughing at this point? Are they having
I don't
a good
know,
time watching this?
It's because
What
she
was
was
the
saying
point?
she was saying some like age-old Your Mom's House one-liners. Shit on me, beat me, piss on me, beat me, call home now. There was a lot of things that she was saying that made her eligible for this 15 seconds of fame. But I'm not really a dude.
At what cost though?
Well,
because I don't know if Tom came up to me, hey, look, you get on the bed, you spread your legs, you jerk off, and you slap your nuts around, and just say some stuff that pertains to our show.
How much has he got to pay you, Jay? There's a price on everything. Yeah, you're thinking about it now.
How much did the show? How much
you got to lay on your back, pull that hog out.
How much did they make on that?
Okay. So
thing?
I don't know if this is real
because I want like a percentage of what they made.
Well, I saw some people.
I'm looking at 5%.
The CCC chat, the Comedy Content Collective chat, was saying that the numbers of people that tuned into Your Mom's House Live were 2.3 million, and so if you do the math across $10 per person,
that's quintillion.
Don't just make up now. Hold on. We could do that. I think it's $23 million.
Wow. Yeah, I want a percentage.
$23 million they made off of that. And so off the backs of, is that accurate? 200, yeah, 2 million, 2.3 million. The taxes
That's
on it?
1.6 million if I got 6%.
That's not bad.
7%.
That's not bad.
I would do it for.
Oh,
1.
of course you would.
If they were like jerk off, slap your balls, and just say some stuff about the show.
Now this is going to be a spoiler. I really want to tell Jay a lot about the things that I saw. So go ahead and skip ahead 5 minutes because this is something I got to tell you about. Now, watch the lady slap her clitoris around that really did resemble a baby artichoke heart, so that's why I had a problem.
Terrible.
I watched some old gay guys made love to each other.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. I also watched one of the gay guys jerk off before the video where they made love. That was nice.
There's a whole production staff, and then her and Tom watching all this, correct?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They also submitted Tom's parents to it, which I thought was pretty funny, but there was some audio issues, a lot of, that got a little rough. But another thing that I saw was a woman who was eating McDonald's innocently.
Okay.
Eating McDonald's, having some nuggets.
No harm in that.
Having some fries.
Of course.
As one does.
You wash it down.
Right? And then she said very sexually, ooh, you like ketchup on your nuggets? I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah, I like ketchup on my nuggets.
See, I would have been like, nope.
Well, maybe that's the right thing to have done because the next thing that she asked.
What white trash eats ketchup on their nuggets?
She was black. All right,
Sorry.
All right. You are sorry.
Now I'm really sorry.
And then the next thing she said was, well, if you like ketchup on your nuggets, what about poop?
What about it?
And then she rolled over onto her back. Great camera placement. Straight down the old asshole turnpike.
Yeah. And
pushed out
a log.
Well, some of the most dehydrated white-tailed deer turds I've ever seen.
Dude, see, I'm not good with this.
Dude, I'm getting a
nauseous.
cheese and meat board.
I'm getting nauseous. Why would you keep watching it? Why would you go? You know what? I'm gonna see where this plays out.
I started
I'm
drinking.
See how this goes.
I started drinking, and then eventually the drink was like, you could eat this, and so I kept eating. My wife, she went ahead and clocked out. She tapped out rather early.
Cindy.
Yeah, but I kept going. Bro, you don't spend
$70
on fermented meats and cheeses
I'd
and
have been
not
like,
fucking
can
eat
we
them.
watch something like Titanic? Anything
Would've
where
been
they're
nice.
not pushing dehydrated shit out their asshole.
Yeah, there was a lot, man. There was that. There was a guy on his back with a ball sack that looked like an inflated purple balloon, and he's just fucking he's just mashing his ball sack over and over again with the strength of 10 men. Like if that was his opponent, Herb Dean would have called it. Like there was the one that I showed you.
Not according to last night. Let those boys
fight. Hey, can we talk about that? Because I didn't watch the fights, but I saw some highlights, and I think it's important to talk about, especially the main event.
Well, that was a big fight because that was DC's retirement, really. It was his swan song of a fight. It was the trilogy with Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
That's a big fight. It's Daniel Cormier's last fight is what he's telling everybody. It went 5 hard rounds. It was a great
it
back
wasn't
and
a stoppage.
forth. No, it wasn't a stoppage. It was close, though. That I think it was second or third round. DC hit him with some like fall away
Are you saying
crosses.
Stipe
I'm
hit
sorry,
him? I
Stipe.
saw that.
Stipe hit him with a couple leaping.
Over and over again.
Yeah, and DC wound up going down from that, and then Stipe got on top of him. DC then body locked him, and there was only 10 seconds left. So Stipe's trying to make room, and he's punching him. He's trying to get this dude to stop.
Yeah.
And he survives, and then he goes to the corner, and you see Daniel Cormier clearly out of it. 'Cause
Which
he's
round
like,
was this?
What happened? What happened? This was second round.
Wow. For
Yeah,
DC
it
to
was-
get
it
almost
was
stopped
pretty-
that early.
It was pretty crazy.
Stipe bodied the fuck up, too.
Boy, he looked great.
Yeah,
Man.
he looked
really
really
did.
good.
I mean, that's what you want to see out of a heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Those guys went 5 hard rounds. Very good striking, clean.
And it wasn't
textbook shit.
nobody was shut down.
It's just
DC is
beautiful.
so dangerous with his hands.
And both of them were taking shots, back
Yeah.
and forth. They're like, oh. And
DC
it
a
was
lot
just
with
exciting.
the overhands. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what happened was game changers. So Stipe got poked in, I think, in the first round. He got poked.
or DC rather. DC got poked.
No.
Stipe got poked.
Stipe got a finger in the eye in the first round, or it could have been even the second round. So then what happened is Stipe then poked DC in the eye, and I think it was the late third round.
Now, are you
possibly fourth.
suggesting that was a little bit of payback?
Retaliation? I don't think it was retaliation. I
No?
think it was just guys. They're just they just didn't
Measuring distance, keeping you away a little
distance,
bit.
and you got to remember, man, with those heavyweights, it's one shot, man, will put you the hell out. It will. So you got to try to keep your guard up and stuff, and it just happened that one finger slipped in. It changed kind of the whole dynamic of the fight, and DC's left eye really swelled shut. Couldn't see anything. It looked kind of like Debo.
I
And
saw
there's
how-
gonna be
how-
100 memes of it.
like
Feel
Debo.
so bad for the guy. Beautiful
Don't disrespect
fight.
DC.
The disrespect.
That
if you
fucking
make a,
finger went deep though, dude. I saw the
and
slow mo
knuckle
of
deep.
it.
He went right to the knuck.
Sunk a couple knuckles in his eye. It was pretty nasty.
It was crazy, but it was a beautiful fight, man. It was
Looked like a war.
well worth the money that I would have paid the money right there just to watch that single fight.
If you didn't illegally stream it.
Nope, I paid for it. Dave, I told you.
You got that.
You're
Yeah,
just
all
coming
right.
into gelato money.
All
Your
right,
boy
that's
had
fair,
gelato
that's
money
fair.
for a while.
Who else was on that card?
Sugar Sean O'Malley was the co-main.
How did that go?
It was good, but it was weird, man. So Cheeto Vera is a bad motherfucker. He throws some nasty kicks, and he's got real beautiful jiu-jitsu. Really good ground guy, and he's just game.
So
man.
that's an
He's
interesting
he's
matchup
A
for him.
dog, yeah. So what happened is, Sugar's throwing his stuff, and he kind of is bouncing real light on his feet, and then he kind of makes this one bounce forward, and then his foot kind of rolls, and then you clearly see him high ankle sprain. Know automatically when you see it. So he can't get his feet under him. He can't do the Sugar, bob and weave.
Yeah, his
and
in and out movement is great.
It's
His
gone.
lateral
It's all
movement is
gone.
great.
He's flat-footed as hell. He's got his back up
Damn.
against the cage. Cheeto, starts putting pressure on him. He clips him. He goes down to the ground. Cheeto kind of he hits him with a real hard fucking elbow.
Yeah.
You see Sean's head bounce off the ground.
Oh, wow.
He goes out, and then Cheeto Vera starts putting it on him. Then they call it.
Oh shit! I
And
didn't know he lost.
Corner, and then Sean O'Malley's corner is stop too early. It stopped too early. Cheeto Vera got on the cage and looked at his corner. Was it's the Cheeto show. It's the Cheeto show.
Damn,
And
son.
then so then they come in, because if you remember, he broke his foot before in a fight when Rogan interviewed him when he was on the
Yes,
ground.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
Was it the same foot?
I don't know if it was the same foot. So they came in and look, I'm sure he's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be in there. It's hard to fight. It's a hard business, man. But there are guys that I've seen break legs and break foots. And Conor, I mean, if you remember Conor kicking Nate Diaz for 5 rounds in their rubber match,
Yeah.
he clearly broke his foot. But you know what he did? He hobbled out of there.
Yeah.
He got with his team and he left, under his own accord. And there's something about that, whether it's football or MMA, getting up and leaving on your own free will, not being carted off. There's some kind of just pride in that,
Yeah.
And as soon as he left the cage, they put him on a stretcher and they got him out of there. And Sugar's kind of doing the Peter Griffith, he's holding it.
I don't want to see that from him. I enjoy him.
You don't want to question a guy's toughness or durability, but when a guy because I mean, he did like break his foot in that last fight, and he fought kind of on a broken foot, and yeah, it was tough and everything. But did he maybe like kind of give up a little bit? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But all I know is if whatever happens, I'm trying to leave under my own my own free will. You know, my own power. I'm not getting, because I mean, I could attest to that getting like hit in football and just being like blasted and then going.
Oh, you played football as a kid?
Oh yeah, dude, I've suffered stupid amount of concussions.
That's why you're ridiculously aggressive.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense
and
now.
full of rage.
It all makes sense now.
It's CTE.
That's the CTE,
That's it,
baby.
the only way that.
Well, dude, I mean, between fighting, how many concussions I've had, and then playing football growing up, how many concussions.
Yeah,
I've had well over 10 hard concussions that I remember.
What I don't understand is like,
or
you
not
know,
remember.
Why or not remember? Watching you go back and forth with some of the guys in the gym, and watching you sustain, you know, the damage and deal the damage, and I just don't understand how you're so okay with getting your shit blasted into another dimension, because my headaches after boxing were so unreal.
I don't know.
I don't understand how. I guess
just,
he's just a tougher guy, but
I mean, I don't know. I was kind of just made durable, you know, between, like I said, football and then growing up with solely my dad. I was never really coddled growing up, so it was you know, sack up, you know, kind of shit, and
yeah, no, but that's different. You're not sacking up. You enjoy it. I see it.
I love the competition and aspect of it. I love the chess match with an absolute result if you fuck up. I love that about like fighting.
I remember watching you go back and forth with Devontae.
Oh God,
and
I remember that.
Devontae has center blocks for hands. His hands are so fucking big. He's such a big dude,
explosive guy,
and
too.
He started getting pretty goddamn good, enough to tag you pretty hard.
Boy,
and you're tagging him pretty hard.
Yeah, he hit me hard that one time, man.
And
I remember that.
I remember everybody in the gym kind of wrapping it up at the end of the day and stopping to watch this show, and everybody's fucking amazed, and I'm amazed, and it's fucking great, but I'm going, how is he, why is he still doing this? Why is he still doing this, bro? Like, watching you snap each other's heads back.
I've had some great gym wars with, like, Tristan. I mean, me and him, I've called him, and I've said, like, hey, Tristan, I don't know. I have no idea how I got home. And then he was like, oh, my God, dude, me neither. I want to tell you tomorrow. I was like, I don't remember how I got home either. And then I've had me and Eric Nolan, who's a real bad motherfucker, actually. He's like one of the top like amateur middleweights in New Jersey right now. He's a bad dude, man. And I sparred him a couple months before all this stuff like went down with the pandemic and everything. Mm-hmm. And me and him were working. He was getting ready for a fight, and he hit me fucking hard, man. It was one of the hardest I've been hit, where I went on like a surfboard kind of thing, where I was like, whoa, and then at the same time I saw like the speckled light thing, and I was like, oh boy. So then I realized like I gotta bring it, like when I'm, you know, there's no playing around with him. So like I'll never forget the combination. So me and him start working again. So I jab, straight right, switch stance, double jab with the right, straight left. Yeah. And if I put it together, it's a real fluid, beautiful combination. And I fucking cracked him. And I mean, like, he got me, I got him. It was just, we went to fucking town, man.
It
was great. It was great, man. It was a great sparring session.
You've put me in outer space where I saw the stars. And I remember distinctively being like, I didn't go, I got to get Jay back. I went, okay, can you hold on? Can you fucking hold on for a second? Can we just stop for a second? Because it was like, it's everything is, ground feels like liquid. It feels like you're on a boat.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Shout out to Eric. He hit me, and I was like, oh my God. I felt like I was on that thing where there's like, it's the cylinder, and then there's a board,
and the board on it.
Top of it. Oh,
yeah.
That's kind of what getting knocked out, or at least right there on the cusp, feels like.
All right. Well, I do want to, because we're getting little long in the tooth here with the episode, and I want to go to some of the fan questions that we got, because we did
fan questions.
So to our boy Tristan, that's what reminded me, because Tristan sent a very disrespectful question.
He was here yesterday when we sent it.
I don't like his question, but we'll answer it. The question is, when are we canceling Dave for his Epstein flights? And what I gotta say is the one thing. Now listen here, Tristan. We just there's a running joke on this show and it's that Dave just doesn't have avocado money. Dave just got gelato money.
Dave's
all
a
these
liar.
all these very
Definitely,
disrespectful
that one's true.
things about my
Income.
It's a class thing. It's a class war. It's
a level here.
Very classist of Jay to be
For
throwing
sure.
these things around. But what I will say to my alleged flights on the Lolita Express to Epstein's Island is that
To the Bad Baby Express.
to the bad. My wife, by the way, was like, "Well, how many of my friends follow Bad Baby?"
You don't want to know.
Quite a many.
You don't want to know.
Quite a many. If you're following Bad Baby, you got to stop, boys, because we're gonna find you.
And then we're just gonna run like one of those movie things at the end of this that just has a list of names.
The
That
credits. Shout out, big thank you to all the people who follow Bad Baby. But your boy couldn't afford a flight on the Lolita Express to Epstein's Island.
couldn't afford a soda on that flight.
If I sold my son to Epstein's Island, I still couldn't afford a flight to Epstein's Island. So, very disrespectful of you, Tristan, and I'm very upset about that, but I'm willing to let it slide this time.
Watch your mouth, sweetheart.
Oh, and you're going to watch your mouth there, right? Drawn from the mind, our good friend Nathan Baird, all the way
I like Nate.
from across the pond, slinger of dope artwork all over the internet.
Slinger of dick and
Slinger
slinger of dope artwork.
Slinger of fat dicks and dope artwork. Says, do you get more fluff in your belly button or your bum crack?
Well, first off, you limey, we call it
Call it lint.
lint.
Call it lint.
Not
but all
fluff
right.
here.
That's
Okay.
we do get what
And
you're
I'm
saying.
sorry
though.
for the limey thing, but
That was a little disrespectful. You got a little carried away.
Jay,
That's the
didn't you say you like him?
I do like him, but Jay just has a rage just boiling just beneath the surface.
Yeah.
And don't insult him. When I told him I was going to slap him in the mouth, he stepped on my foot so fucking hard that I will be limping out of this studio today. So just watch yourself.
And Nate, we got baby wipes across the pond. That's how
We do got baby wipes. Oh, shout out to Nathan for his he's got a baby on the way. So big shout out to Baby Baird.
Congratulations, brother.
But I will start. Actually, no. I want you to. Can you answer the question first? It's a very important question. Do you get more lint in your belly button or your butt crack?
I don't get a lot of lint in my butt crack. I wear boxer briefs, so there's not like a lot of dingleberry action going on.
Keeping
there.
it tight
and
for the
I
boys.
And I use baby wipes, so I never get that residual.
You need a little bit of adhesive left in the
Yeah.
crack
I
to
definitely,
accumulate.
I will occur a little of that little,
belly button.
little belly button lint.
Mine's a little sweaty right now.
Oh,
Nah, it's pretty clean. It smells good too. I don't know. I don't want to go in the boxers for the
shit.
butt cracks. I'll go on the outside, but it feels pretty.
mine's
I gotta
good.
say,
I'm good. I would say definitely belly button.
I would say actually butt crack because the boxer briefs are tighter and constantly rubbing against the crack, whereas sometimes wear loose shirts and it doesn't really. I think if you had more friction going on with a tight shirt rubbing against it, you would some of that. The hair is a little abrasive and it would relinquish some of that.
If I'm wearing a black shirt, especially, I notice that I get like the black belly button.
Oh, if I have new boxers, brand new boxers, yeah, then
Okay.
the boys are collecting a little bit of a mountain of yarn down there.
Nate, thanks for the question.
Thank you for the
Congratulations on the baby.
And now shout out to Frame of Mind Art, Trevin,
I like this guy so
one of
much.
our good buddies.
And I've never really actually met him.
Never met him. But that's the beauty of the CCC is I've never met any of these people, but I love them to death. Do you have any food combinations that you eat that people might think is disgusting?
Fried chicken and cocaine.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's a combination. A little bitter. I think it takes
Dude,
away from the fried
one
chicken.
time I tried eating a hamburger. No shit. When I was
On
coked
coke-
up out of
yeah.
my mind. I'll never forget it. Stephanie picked me up. She's got a hamburger for me. And she goes, here. It was the nicest thing ever. She goes,
Shout out,
here,
Steph.
honey. You probably didn't eat all day. I figure you were hungry. I was like,
Wow.
that's so nice of you.
Wow.
Did not know that I've been doing cocaine toward the end of the evening, pretty much
For the past 7
complete
hours.
end of the evening. And I was like, boy, that's nice. And I can't let her know that I'm all yacked out of my mind. So I start like eating this burger, like, and trying to swallow it when my throat is all numb. And I'm like, trying to washing it down with the orange high C. Dude,
Didn't work out.
it was the heart, dude. It was like imagine eating cement.
Yeah.
I could only imagine that's what it would be like, where it's like taking spoonfuls of cement,
Sure.
trying to get that down your fucking throat.
Did you finish it?
No, I told her, I was like, you know what?
You know what? I'm
not hungry today. I'm like,
You know what, babe? I'm on cocaine. It's not gonna work
she's
out.
like, really? A McDouble with Big Mac sauce, and you're gonna throw that out the window?
Wow,
I
dude.
was like,
but let's take a
"Can't
minute to
eat
appreciate
it."
that she asked for Big Mac sauce on that McDouble. Talk about a fucking ride or die.
That's why you marry
That's
her.
wife material right
That's
there.
it.
I don't know about any particular food combinations that I eat that people find disgusting, but I do in fact put mayonnaise on virtually everything.
Well, I like, you know what my food combination of choice has been recently? So I take chocolate protein milk, right?
Oh, yeah, you were
And
mentioning
I'll
this.
shake that up, or I'll put it in the blender, you know, and just get like a protein, you know, almond milk with
Right.
chocolate. And then I'll take like some like Cocoa Puffs or something like that.
Mhm.
And then I just pour that over, and I have a nice bowl of like protein milk with like cereal.
That kind of
And
stuff
it is-
makes me like you a lot.
It is absolutely delicious. I'm going to
See-
have a fat fucking bowl of that when this is all
Hearing
over.
you describe that genuinely makes me smile. I don't know what it is. Something about the big man covered in tattoos with all the rage beneath the surface, eating this delectable chocolate, crunchy, yummy, smooth. Like, oh, that really warms my heart, man.
It's really good.
It's nice
really
to know
good.
because I do sometimes forget that you're not just a rage-filled ape with world destruction at the forefront of his brain at all times, and that you do have a soft spot and you do kind of adorable things.
Thank
and that's
you.
one of them.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right, and then lastly, Magnum Memes. Shout out to Magnum Memes. He is a member of the CCC, but also
Today, by Magna means art.
All right.
Question mark.
There was no question mark for the last alien. He said, now this is actually an interesting topic. He said, dating apps, net negative or net positive?
Well, dating apps. When I got into dating, there was no apps for dating. It was you go to a bar, you hopefully get liquored up
man.
enough to find a gal to go home and enjoy the rest of your evening with.
That's what life was like
But
in the 70s.
like
yeah.
I was saying, if Stephanie should die and I go on Tinder, I'm
Right.
going to use the fuck out of those
So
things.
you think that they're valid? I mean, they
Dude,
are, right?
I'd be doing two things: slinging rotors and crushing puss.
hey,
If I slinging rotors
hey,
and
she
slinging
is still
dick.
alive.
I'm just
you know, my
saying.
wife went in on me. She didn't go in on me, but she was like, "Really? Yeah, Britney Spears has a slamming body." And I was like, "But babe, she does."
have it. That's like me telling Cindy, be like, "No, Ryan Reynolds is
Yeah,
not that
of
good
course
looking.
Ryan Reynolds is
of
a
course
stud.
he's beautiful.
If he's got a fat dick on him, life just isn't fair, and
I
we
think-
know that for
no,
a fact.
I
You don't think
I
Ryan
he's
Reynolds
got
has
a
a fat
normal
dick?
piece? Normal,
Probably
like,
a handsome one, though.
4 inch just hanging, and it goes 6 when it's erect.
Okay,
just a
yeah,
normal
well.
dick.
I
God can't give you everything, Ryan.
I do want
I'm
to.
sorry.
That's why I'm not tall. But I do want to take a moment to be real. Like, imagine being single right now. It's a rough world
Oh,
out
I'd
there.
have HIV.
Especially-
no, that's not. That doesn't even exist anymore.
No, it doesn't exist anymore, and it's definitely not a death
I'd
sentence.
be
You'd be just
crushing.
fine. I have HIV right
unprotected
now.
Sex.
But I know some people who are,
Got
you
the
know,
clap.
30-something and single, and it's rough, man, because there is so much.
Really? Well, you know what it is? It's like
You think you do very well?
I
You're
think,
a handsome guy. You got cool
I think
stuff going on.
I think I would do really good.
Yeah.
But I think it would get
That's a lot of
lonely.
confidence, guys.
Oh, I know. I'd crush puss.
Yeah,
dude.
well, I mean, if you
But
know
I-
you'd crush puss, then you would crush
But
puss.
the thing is, I could only imagine like how much I could do that for before I'd get like really lonely.
Yeah.
Like there's something about like
Oh, I see it.
sleeping next to somebody who really loves you and gets you a McDouble when you're all coked up.
with Big Mac sauce.
What a gal she is. And then, you know, not having somebody like that got to be like sad.
Yeah, I
Like
think
when,
so.
when people go, "Oh, you're married," and I go, "Yeah, but it's a nice thing, dude. I love my wife. I love being around her. She makes me laugh. I think she's fun. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have fucking married her if I didn't." And I feel bad for people who don't experience or get that. You know?
Yeah, I know some people.
when
That,
you're
do you
like-
know some single people?
I don't really know too many people, honestly.
Not these days?
Actually, no, I do. I know a couple people. Yeah.
And do you feel like, to some extent, there's an under the surface sadness that they're?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I
there's
feel with the
something,
single people I know
There's
as well.
something missing, you know, like.
But we sound like married guys. Like,
That's
oh,
true.
single shit is whack. Like, it would be
I'm
cool
sure
to
it'd be fun for a little while, but
for a
there's
little while.
there's definitely something missing, like how I have 10 fingers and some people only have 9.
Right.
Shelly,
Right. Now it's a little uncalled
there's
for.
something.
It's a little
missing
aggressive.
something is missing.
Now, and
Like
Shelly
a
is also
finger.
a single man who,
So he's missing a loved one and a finger.
and beneath the surface, right beneath that stub of a finger that he's got going on, I think there's a tremendous amount of sadness. And he's always smiling, and he's always having a good time. But I think it's a front for the tremendous amount of deep, dark sadness that comes creeping in every
Yeah.
time he thinks of.
Every time he sees a
love.
keyboard, he probably gets pissed.
He doesn't.
He's missing like the K and the
That's-
L constantly.
Don't delve into the the personal and maybe subtle flaws that he has because
Shout
he has
out.
no finger.
Shout out to Shell Bell though. I like that. Guy.
But I do think that dating apps are great because social media has put such a weird thing on how to behave around women and how to behave around men if you're dating.
I honestly don't know how to be around women now. Like how
Yeah.
there's an awful lot of consent you got to get before you guys get actually down to business. I mean, I would take like a video of her saying yes. I would also absolutely want to see identification. You know,
Yeah.
There's a lot of like,
If you
know,
historically,
jump through.
have you had success with women?
yeah, I've done well. In life.
So if you could give people, like, let's say some of our single listeners, these guys that just can't, I can't give advice to the women, but to the guys that just can't seem to figure it out, what are some simple things that you think you could, advice-wise, give them to just kind of improve the game a little bit for them?
honestly, I don't even know because I'm so far removed from the game.
It's hard, yeah.
It's a whole new world out there with like the computer because most people that I meet now that I've never, we haven't been like life friends.
Oh, yeah.
They've met their loved ones or people that they're dating online. And I'm like, I'm totally out
Yeah.
of my realm because I'm a, like get me in an interview process. I
Yes.
kill, but I got to be in your face, to be able to for you to get it,
Yeah.
you got to be here with me,
Yeah, my
I don't know if
mom
it
actually met
translate
my
as
stepdad
good.
on Match.com, I think.
Oh, yeah?
They've been married for fucking, I don't know, 10 years, 14 years? A long time.
FakeNativeAmericans.com.
No, that's not.
Farmers
My mom-
only.
My mom did have a,
Fake Native Americans only.
actually, my aunt has a fair bit of Native American
Cherokees only.
shit in the basement, which is weird because she
Of course
doesn't.
they do.
We're not a Native American. If I could give a guy advice, and this is the advice that I always give to anybody who's single and just can't quite figure it out. I mean, take care of yourself, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Health-wise, physical health-wise, just put some fucking effort forth.
Hey, man, have some pride.
Look at this guy, button up, right, in shape, tatted up, handsome guy. Nothing needs to be said here. This is crazy what's going on right
We can't
here.
do anything with the height.
But we try. But
Wear
we
platforms.
No,
Sorry.
just-
Go ahead.
Okay.
You were saying?
I was saying, I lost my fucking train of thought, man. I'm really upset now.
Take care of yourself. Is what
Take
you're
care of
saying.
yourself. But the second most important thing is, because looks are first most important. Second most important thing is be fucking fun. Come off as somebody who's silly and fun, who's easy to be around, who's chill, who's fun, who's
Now, what do you say to a person who's none of those things? Maybe
Hey,
even a
maybe-
touch of Asperger's.
well,
Because I got buddies like that.
we watch a
And I tell him, I go, hey, Doug,
you,
you're going to be single
Don't say his
and you're
name.
going to die alone.
No, you watch a show for all the wrong reasons about, people on the spectrum finding love, and so
It's true. And if those guys can, then my
you
boy
get to.
Doug can.
But Doug, just try to be fun. Smile a little bit, not in a creepy way.
Can't do that.
Some jokes would be
You
nice.
think your teeth are bad?
Tell some. My teeth are fucking great. Besides that one, tell some stories. Also, don't. It's easier to meet women, I think, in a group. Your buds and their buds.
Well, you gotta talk, man.
Yeah.
You gotta. If you're not easy on the eyes, you better be able to fucking, you better have the gift of gab.
Well,
Being funny helps.
I think that's the note that I'd like to end on is if you're any of our single fans, friends, and family out there who are just trying to figure it out, start by taking fucking care of your bod and then being fun. Just be fun. And if you can't be fun, be fucking nice.
There you go, guys.
it.
Thank you very much. This is Dave and Jay, and we're out.
Bye-bye. Mwah, mwah.
Dave and Jay versus the world.